In this video,
First we outline
what the
what
traditional business model of the music industry is. Thereafter, we take a look at the renegade model. Next, we analyze the elements of the new business model. We use Deezer and Spotify as supporting examples. Last, we give our prediction of the future of the music industry. So let's start with the traditional business model. The traditional business model of the music industry is very simple. If you have heard a nice song, you could go to a nearby shop to buy the CD. This model includes mass production and distribution of the physical information goods, the CDs. Record labels manufactured and distributed them via bricks and mortar stores, mail clubs, and online retailers.
So, why was this business model not sustainable?
Sales declined as a result of an increase in illegal copies of the CDs. Because of the decline in sales over time, productivity needed to be improved. Costs have been cut by dropping employees and artists and by closing stores. The traditional model used a production-oriented business model. The price was dictated to the customer without knowing their willingness to pay. Record labels and retailers focused on mass production. They did not focus on what the consumer wanted. The buying process of the traditional model was experienced as inconvenient by many people. It cost time and effort to travel to the shops, search for music, and wait in line. This resulted in lower sales. The renegade model partly outperformed the traditional business model. When internet became more commonly used, it became possible to download illegally songs from platforms. Besides the fact that it was free, music became easier to find and way more music became available. Pioneers like Napster and Kazaa provided the software so that millions of people could consume and distribute illegal music. These organizations are called renegades. However, it was illegal. Almost everybody became used to it. For the artists and record labels, this was a huge problem. Information goods are costly to produce but extremely cheap to reproduce. After a song is produced and the first copy is digitalized, the song is available for free. Consequently, most costs become sunk costs and can't be recovered. Due to the availability of almost every song on the internet, music became commoditized, pushing the prices to zero for companies that sold the music legally. Luckily for the artists, a new business model entered the music industry. This new business model contains three important elements for success: differentiated products, an advertising model, and it is network-based. Let's start with product differentiation. Normally, there are two sustainable structures for dealing with a commoditized market: achieve cost leadership or differentiate your product. Within the music industry, achieving cost leadership is not possible because the renegades offer the music for free.
Information goods can be differentiated in three ways: by price differentiation, versioning, or by bundling with complementary goods. Let's start with price differentiation.
By offering the product for multiple prices, it is possible to sell more because of the difference of willingness to pay of customers. Prices can be differentiated by offering personalized prices, different price per version, or by differentiate on group. Spotify and Deezer don't use personalized pricing. However, they can use, for example, an auction system to increase revenue. Versioning of products allow to differentiate on price. Spotify offers a version for free with limitations and a premium version for a premium price. Deezer does not differentiate from Spotify and offers the same kind of versions for the same kind of prices. Offering price-sensitive groups differentiated prices increase their willingness to pay. Spotify does that by offering families a shared account for a lower price and by giving students and PlayStation users discount. Deezer offers family package customers from T-Mobile a discount.
We have seen how Deezer and Spotify apply price differentiation. Now let's take a look how they versionalize their product.
The two important elements for versioning are the dimension and the Goldilocks pricing. Companies can differentiate their versions by using attractive pricing dimensions. For example, price per operation time instead of price per unit. Spotify uses price per month as dimension. Customers can listen to an unlimited amount of songs within that period. Deezer uses the same dimension as Spotify. An example of a company that uses another dimension is iTunes. At iTunes you pay per song. It is proven that using 3 versions increases the choice satisfaction of the customer. People like to pick the version that is big enough, but not too big. Adding one ultra premium to your versions can improve sales of the premium. This is the Goldilocks effect. As you can see, Spotify uses 2 versions. They may increase sales of the premium version by adding one ultra premium version. Surprisingly, Deezer doesn't offer 3 versions either. This might be because it is hard to find features that allow an ultra premium price.
Lastly, companies can differentiate their information goods by bundling the goods with complementary products. Let's take a look how Deezer and Spotify make use of this strategy.
The subscription of Spotify is bundled with the subscriptions of the phone company Vodafone. Vodafone is complementary to Spotify because mobile data is needed for streaming music. Bundling them has a positive effect on the perceived value of both. Deezer has implemented the same strategy as Spotify and bundles its products with products from T-Mobile. So, now you know how you can differentiate products in order to increase revenue. Let's take a look at how the advertising model works. Spotify derives revenue from personalized targeted advertisements. They do this by showing relevant targeted groups banners, by offering the free version commercial breaks, and by modifying the content. They can target the right persons because Spotify is linked to social media accounts and they observe what kind of music you listen to. After you have registered, Deezer asks what kind of genres and which artists you like. With this information, they modify the commercial breaks and content. Both Spotify and Deezer have not succeeded yet to make a profit. This is because most of the earnings derived from subscriptions and advertisements go to the artists. The last element for success is the network element. Making all stakeholders dependent on the platform increase the sustainability of it. Consumers from Spotify are dependent on the platform in the way that all their personal music lists are stored on the platform. Artists are dependent because without Spotify it's hard to earn money on music production. However, these dependencies are low since nowadays there are a lot of different alternative platforms. Deezer forms the same kind of network. Both companies try to increase dependency by offering music that is only accessible on their platforms. The question is for how long this music remains exclusive. We now know how the new business model is performing, but what will it be like in the future? We expect that the digital trend within the music industry will continue. Increasingly less CDs and albums will be sold by unit. This is in line with research from PwC. The competition between streaming services will increase and prices will fall, since it's hard to differentiate as music streaming companies selling commoditized information goods. We predict that artists and record labels will focus more and more on live performances, because in that way they can differentiate by delivering a more intense experience.